I know that you know that he loves you when my rock bottom didn't drive him away but drew him closer and made him love me harder.
Let's switch that up.
Okay.
Let's switch that up.
Yeah.
I knew she loved me when my
No,
rock bottom.
No. You're rock bottom. Please call me when you left the rock.
You see?
It's giving a bit.
Ooh, if it was the woman who was being asked to tolerate your rock bottom.
Hi guys, Muruki Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between.
It's Definitely TMI.
Today I almost got it wrong.
You
for
did,
sure.
yes.
Whoa. Why? I don't know
like,
why. Maybe it's the way I'm positioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
also because this camera looks kind of closer to you.
It feels
it's
so
like,
here. It's like, why am I going all the way to
on your
Kisumu?
nose?
You're right here. Yeah.
I don't even know if I look there for this. It's definitely TMI. Anyway, too late.
We're here.
We're here. Exactly.
This is where we are.
How are you doing, sweetie?
I've been better.
You've been better.
Physically, I've been better. But generally speaking, I feel so aligned.
Yeah.
I feel so at peace.
That's so good.
Really, really at peace.
You know what I find interesting about, I don't know if it's interesting, but anyway, I like how when we watch each other's content, you can kind of see, you can tell the headspace I'm at.
Yeah, just
you
like
know, and
looking.
I can also, I can just be like,
God, we should find people for that as well.
My sincere, relax, calm down. We are paying for this whole production anyway. So who am I finding?
50 million would be
That's
Joe's.
Or really, if we find people for hitting the mic, then
I would carry
50
you all.
million. That's it. You would be paying our rent.
Yeah.
I love how whenever I watch your stories, I can tell. I can be like, oh, she's in a little low energy, or oh, whatever. Whereas I don't think that everyone can always tell like where the other person's headspace is at.
No, definitely no.
Yeah.
It's like I even sometimes when you talk, it's just like I know the words that she's saying, but it's like it's energy. It's because we're so aligned and we're so vibed. How are you, princess?
Me, I'm okay. I'm doing well. My assistant has been on leave this week and I've been drowning. When you hear drowning, I've been drowning.
Yeah.
I thank God she returns tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's pretty great. But otherwise, I feel great. I came from holiday, which was phenomenal. It was so good to unwind with my family. It was really, really good. One day I want to take a holiday where I literally don't post anything when I'm on holiday.
That would be great.
I feel like
especially like something like it's 4 days.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to encourage myself to do that. You know, there's like you've gone away for 3 weeks, Han.
Yeah,
you need to work. You
Yeah.
know, but otherwise, like 3-4 days where you just go.
We can just relax.
I can't even imagine
That's
that.
the thing. We need to.
That
I could
euphoria.
orgasm.
Oh my God.
I'm like, wait, what does that feel like? Because the thing is that I like posting, like I like sharing, but like it would be nice to also just not think about like sharing anything. Like, because I see my sister and like my husband, just like you guys just here enjoying. You're just enjoying, not even
Why
taking
is
a
my
small
body
picture.
literally being like,
that's the thing. It is literally an orgasmic thought.
yeah. Okay, so an
We should
update
try.
actually. I got all my 4 wisdom teeth removed. By the time you're watching this, it was like 2 weeks ago. And then now this week, I'm coming off my opioids medication. So it's like, it's been rough.
Yeah.
It's been a
Been going
rough
through
2
it.
weeks for sure. But I
Exactly.
can't wait to get my body back and everything. I had this chipmunk face. Maybe we'll put pictures here because Joe
Insert picture
Joe needs
here.
everyone
Oh my
to see
God.
when I was looking like, people are just like, oh no, Lydia, are you okay? Joe is like, you look so cute.
It's so cute. I love it so every time. And then the screenshots that your mom posts, you know, your mom don't care how you're looking in the screenshot.
Oh my God.
Lydia's like,
Unbelievable. And then she says, oh, the light of my life.
Mommy, my dear little daughter lead. I'm just like,
Really? Really? And you know, because when someone takes a screenshot, you're the biggest face.
yep. I just love it. I love it so
Please.
much.
But yeah, because someone's going to ask, my bottom wisdom teeth were impacted, meaning they weren't sprouting out and they were causing issues in my jawline. So then since the bottom ones are going, the top ones without biting partners tend to overgrow. So I got them all 4 removed under anesthesia. And it was
very brave, first of all.
what? Is it?
Very brave to have them all removed at the same time because I'm just like,
but because I'm being put under, it's just like, let's just get it over and done with. You think I'm going to do this dance more than once?
Yeah, no.
People are like, I'd go and take it now.
Yeah,
I'm
and
never
you
going back again.
That's Zach. He was just like, after that one, I was like, let them overgrow. They are the back anyway. So what's the point?
That's I know myself.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I was like, one time we get it over and done with and we're good.
Exactly.
Yeah, but anyway, generally mindset wise and how I'm feeling, I feel very aligned. But yeah, my body is going through a lot.
Yeah. Jeez, but it's gonna recover. You already look way better. Huh? Yeah, you already seem way better.
Then yes. Yeah. We're not discussing
Shut
yesterday.
Up. Literally.
Anyway, that's a long ass catch up.
Damn.
Yeah. But I guess we haven't shot in a while and things have happened.
2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks?
It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, which
that's
is like
why.
3 years in our
us,
world.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, today, number one, please pause, subscribe. Stop. Why do we need to keep telling you this? What's happening? Do you not love us?
If you don't, just say.
So
we can block you.
Please make sure you're subscribed, whether you're listening to a podcast platform or on YouTube. We're pretty much everywhere. And make sure you're following us on social media. Lydia KM, Murugi Muni, TMI Podcast KE on all social media handles.
Yeah.
So last week we did, no?
Was it last week? No,
the
last
week before last we did He Hates You If.
Yes. Or signs that he hates you.
Signs that he hates you. And I love that episode as well. You guys were so interactive.
Should you read some of the comments of that?
Let's.
Okay. So some of you guys' comments were just crazy. So this a guy commented, a king betweener commented and said, when we said men just don't have the courage to dump you, then he's like, as a man, I feel attacked because that's facts. Confirmed.
There you go.
Confirmed. He'll just treat you badly until the point where you're just like, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah.
Or if you're both unlucky, you literally say, no, mwanamke ni kushikilia, ni kuvumilia, and now you're there in your 20-year marriage.
God.
And he was hoping that you would dump him. Yep.
That's what I call hell.
That's literally hell.
That's hell.
Yeah.
You are holding on because you think he's going to change, but he's treating you like shit because he wants you to get out.
And then after all that time of you holding on and saying, I've done the best that I can, I think it's just best we end it. And he's like, yeah, what took you so long? Kill yourself.
New level of madness. It's not every episode. You thought someone hated you. No. There is another level.
Literally.
Child of God is saying, my standards go up with every episode. We thank the Lord.
That.
We thank the
love
Lord.
that. As they should. Actually, mine as well. Someone said, today's episode spoke to me. I dated this guy who constantly cheated and he treated me so badly. And I stayed because I simply loved him. We need to define what is like when you say you love someone, like you're treating me badly, but I love you.
Yeah.
Trauma. Luckily, I was able to detach. Being with a man who isn't appreciating you is emotionally wrecking. Constantly trying to go harder for them to notice. It's too much work. And they can see you trying to go harder, it's just like, why you?
Yeah.
For what?
I heard something the other day. Red flags aren't red flags if they're what's familiar. So if you have an emotionally unavailable parent, if you've been treated like crap, if you have dealt with all of that, when somebody else treats you like that, it's like, you know this feeling.
Yeah.
It's probably easier to deal with than when somebody loves you well. So it's okay. Sometimes it's growing pains. Deep and Snappy Podcast is saying, I think I hate my husband so much.
Oh no. Oh my.
But there are small things he does that keep me going. What? He treats my parents well, goes the extra mile for them, treats my kids well, I have taken it easily all the years we've been together until recently when I became an in-between and discovered myself and started loving myself. And I realized that I hate him.
You know what my major problem with that is that those things where it's like, I hate him, or like the things which keep me going are the basic bare minimums expected of a partner.
There's nothing
Treating your kids well. They are his kids too.
Yeah, all of
treating
them
your
about how he
well.
takes care of other people.
Yeah.
Actually, all of them.
Taking care of other people. Mm-hmm.
He doesn't care to treat me nicely, even if I give cues. So he takes care of everything else.
But
kids,
not you.
Parents, but not you.
So what's that saying is that you value other people being treated well more than you value yourself. And for you, that's enough of a reason to stay with someone because he treats those other people well.
Yeah.
And no, that's actually really sad.
That is so really sad. Yeah. But a lot of times we said when we hate other people, it's somewhat of a deflection about how we feel about ourselves because you're with someone who you hate. And the fact that you're keeping yourself in bondage of your own decision is frustrating. So instead of looking inward and being like, why am I with someone I hate? It's just easier to just project that hate.
Yeah.
Where?
Crazy. Someone said that a man hates you if he lets his ex's bullshit spill onto your end.
For sure. What even our ex is XX bullshit?
I don't know. Maybe if it's like a baby mama or a baby daddy, and then the drama ends up coming into your relationship, or every time you guys have a fight about something, it's like, oh, that's even why I broke up with her, bitch. You're just exactly like her. Yeah, I feel like there's an extent to which our past relationships will always inform or in some way influence how we are in new relationships, but it should never be in an open way. Like, imagine you telling your man, you're exactly like John.
Not you directing it.
Exactly.
That's
That's madness. But it's like you need to be able to have healed or at least be doing the work to be able to overcome what happened.
Yeah.
And if there's baby mamas and baby daddies, to be able to manage it in a responsible way so that it's not your burden now to help me handle that.
If your affairs are not in order when it comes to women,
no thanks.
No. Good night.
Same.
Good night. So we asked you if you are following us on TMI.
That's it. On Instagram.
We asked you on Instagram to tell us some of the signs to know that he loves you. And we want to say, actually, that's what the episode is about. Why have I jumped?
Exactly.
Why have I jumped? The episode is signs that he loves you. To balance things out, guys. Not everyday hate,
Yeah.
We asked some on our episode, and just to say a disclaimer, some of these signs don't mean holistically that he loves you. But since we can't talk about like everything, we're just saying some things that can be an indicator coupled with many other things.
That's it.
Yeah.
And ideally for me, a relationship should be, obviously, there's like no person is perfect, but I feel like it needs to be majority of the things that he does or the way he treats you or the things he says to you are positive indicators that he loves you. It can't be most of the time he treats you bad, but because you have these 2-3 things, you're like, that's why I'm staying. That's not how it should be. It should be like, maybe there's these 2-3 things that he doesn't do or I wish he did more of, but those are the minority by a lot for me to be staying with you.
And for me, what I think is not necessarily like, for example, there's imperfection in your humanity and there's imperfection in the way you treat me. Those are two different things. So it's like I'm walking the walk with you as an imperfect person. I accept your imperfections. But as far as like bad treatment, like you abuse me sometimes. Every so often, you call me ugly. It's like, you know what I mean?
Which is just
it's
like you're
like
a bad
the
person.
Treatment needs to be so predominantly on the positive side. Who you are as a person, we're going to work on loving you exactly as you are. But how you treat me, it's like I can't always expect that you're going to treat me well. Because every so often, you just throw a little ball in there and just shout at me in front of people.
What? Excuse me?
So how somebody treats you is really what we need to be looking at and being impressed by. Not who you are. How do you treat me? What are you doing for me? What values are you bringing? You know?
Girl.
Okay.
So a lot of you guys shared things like examples of how men love you. But can I just share something real quick? So when I was Googling some responses online, I put in, let me just find it. I put in something like signs that he... Let me find it. Okay, signs. I was typing in signs that he loves you. So I started with signs that he loves you. And these are some of the search responses that came up. Signs that he loves you but doesn't want to show it. Signs that he loves you secretly. Signs that he loves you truly and deeply. Signs that he loves you more than his wife. Signs that he loves you through text. Signs that he loves you in a long distance relationship. Clearly, people have been Googling a lot.
Women. Bondage.
Do you think that if you're in a position where you have to look for, does this man really love me? Do you feel like that man loves that person? Because I just feel like when someone loves you, you know that they love you. Like you can feel that they love you. Can't you?
Funny enough, I've never questioned that anyone I've ever been with loves me. I feel like that is such a low bar for a relationship. Like, let's discuss other things. Like, is it someone more compatible? Are we on those life things? But love, what are we doing here then? What are we doing here? Yeah, that's a red flag.
I feel like that's a red flag. The other day I was redoing my attachment style test. They still got it wrong. They told me I'm secure. Shut the fuck up.
But remember what we said, when you're in like when you're in a particular area with your partner, you could be secure. The entire time in my last relationship, I was coming up as secure. So it's like, and it also can evolve. But so where you are in your relationship can be an indicator.
My man is 100% avoidant.
100%?
Yes.
Really?
He's very avoidant.
What
like literally,
the hell?
as I was, before I just used to assume he was secure until my therapist was like, you should just have him do the test because he seems like he's avoidant. We did it. And when I was there reading through, I'm like, Zach, did you submit your behaviors to this website
God,
to
really?
ask them? Yeah, to ask them if you, because I was just like, whoa, that is 100% him. Values independence over intimacy. When you have a fight, you as the anxious is running towards him, they are running in the opposite direction.
That anxious avoidant dance.
That's it. They appear to be uncaring robots, even though apparently they still feel the pain and distress the way you're feeling. It's just that they don't express it outwardly.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I was telling my therapist, I was like, we need to fix avoidance. We just need to fix them. And she's like, no, do you want us? We can't all be Murugi. We can't all be like you. You also have things that need to be fixed.
And to be honest, anxious and avoidance are both insecure. So no matter how we want to say it, we're just like that. But because avoidance are the ones who feel like they're withdrawing love, they come off like the monsters.
Yeah.
But us as well, like anxious people, we can be super, very needy. We don't, exactly, we are not willing to kind of walk that walk and respect.
It's so much.
That's why, guys, if you're praying for me, for my good man, you need to start with securely attached. Start right there.
Not tall, dark, handsome.
We like it. We like it tall.
We like it dark.
Securely attached. Start with that. And securely attached does not necessarily mean like emotionally available and a good human being. No. But let's start with that.
I even wonder who in my life is a securely attached person. Like, man.
Yeah.
Well, like, where are they? Do they exist?
Oh, I was gonna say someone, but someone I know dated a securely attached person.
Really?
Yeah. And it made them insecure. It made them secure. Because actually, anxious attachers, if you do align with the securely attached, that is the quickest way to help you to grow into more secure. Because the second we get stability, consistency, that we're good.
Sani mesha mess. So Sani mesha mess. What am I gonna do?
No, but you can work through it. And also, I feel like there's a way you're not
super anxious.
I feel like there's a way you look at things that are not. It's not necessarily from that dynamic specifically,
exactly,
right? Your emotional world is not such a dominant like play of how your life goes, you know. So I feel like it's just like, okay, yeah, he's avoidant, but you value other things more than that part.
But
because an extreme avoidant with me, death.
But it's death. But I think it's just in those moments of like conflict when now it becomes apparent. Like, what do you mean? Do you even love me? Do you even care? How can you just sit there with a straight face and I'm crying and I'm shouting? Yeah, that's when.
Or when you're going through something and they just don't know how to comfort you.
And it's just kind of like, can't you just, are you a human?
Nah,
are you a human being?
Everyone work on themselves, but avoidance.
Work on yourselves extra.
Top one.
Please.
Okay, so he loves you if he takes your side and protects you from his family when they're against you. I think that's a big one. I feel
like it's almost too tall in order to be able to say that about somebody.
Yeah, but if you see that, if someone does that, we're not saying that if you don't love me.
Them. Okay,
let's not put it that way. It's like, but if you do this thing, it's a good indicator that you love me. That's a big one. Ooh.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think the more they're protecting you from those other things, because like when it's your family, it's easy to love your family and just be like, huyu anakuanga hivyo, you know, kind of thing. But like, you know, when you tell me, I will spend now years thinking, so the mom didn't really like me then. So this person, you know, kind of thing. So yeah, that's definitely.
Oh, that's a big one.
I would say that's definitely an indicator.
Yeah.
People don't talk enough before getting married about the impact of in-laws and what that's like. Because especially if you're dating a last born, let me tell you, or someone who's really close with their mom, or someone who's really close with their dad or whatever, it's really difficult to tell this person after 30 years, that's no longer your closest confidant or your closest, you know, ally or whatever. Now it needs to be me.
Yeah.
Like the switch just doesn't happen as instantly as people assume that it would.
Yeah.
Even though the Bible says that it should. It says a person should leave their father and their mother and be yoked with their partner.
I don't expect that. Even for us, it's like, I don't know. My mom, still my mom.
Yeah, but we're not married. We're not married.
What? I'm saying if I'm married, it's like my mom, I think, will remain my mom.
Yeah, but now if your mom comes... But you see, it's also because it depends on the relationship you have with your mom.
Yeah.
You know your mom would never say anything to intentionally hurt your partner. You know, she would never be trying to sabotage that. You know, I just want her to be mine. You see, you have a trust element. You know her wisdom, her judgment, her knowledge is pure, or her intentions are pure.
God, I always pray for good in-laws, like as
girl,
in on my ground, on the ground, on my knees.
Yeah. So one of the comments that someone left on that video about he hates you was somebody saying, "But mine loves me."
Yeah.
We love a girl. My man.
This is not what we were talking about, Jane. However, now you have your episode.
Now here's your episode, sweetie. It was someone called Dr. D. So she's like, this episode has been eye-opening. My man loves me. Should I list all of them or should we talk about them one by one?
Yeah.
He gives me his last chapati. If there's any, wow. A moment of silence for that. I know you can't relate because food is like just like a sustenance thing for you.
Like if there's something that you want and there's between me and you and you choose me. Yeah.
That's just exactly if you think about it like that. He runs a bath for me.
Yeah. That's cute.
It's cute. He ensures I am sexually satisfied. Big one.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's actually a huge thing.
You can stop there, babe.
That's enough.
You can stop there.
He does love you.
It's enough.
Yeah.
It's enough.
But again, that by itself is not necessarily. Sometimes men do that from a point of ego. It's like, I want you to go out there and be like, he's the best I ever had. And also,
even people who are like having like, I come, I fuck you and I leave can still have that.
Right. Yeah. Oh God. Okay, fine. He keeps vaginal infections away from me. I would want to know how.
Why are they assumed to be there? As if it's like a thing that he's putting them. Essentially, she's saying he doesn't cheat. Or if he cheats, he puts on a condom.
I don't know. But she said, mine loves me. So how does he keep vaginal infections?
That one is a very
interesting
to say
statement.
In the list of the reasons my husband loves me.
Yeah. Okay. Could it mean that perhaps he really cares for his sexual hygiene?
But sexual hygiene, if it's me and you, that's it.
But like showering.
There's something here that has put an air of why would that be even on your mind?
That literally has never crossed my mind. He keeps vaginal infections.
Isn't that a bare minimum?
Yeah, I feel like if I'm having sex with you,
the barrel.
Yeah, if I'm having sex with you, I assume that first of all, if you're not using a condom, I feel like that's a bare minimum. We need some answers with that one. Yeah. The next statement after he keeps vaginal infections away from me, she said, I believe he's loyal.
That's good. And I like that she said that.
I believe he's loyal. He encourages me to be fit. He pays me girlfriend allowance. You guys are just, Are you guys being paid anything? Wife allowance, perhaps? I would love that one. He doesn't like cooking, but he cooks at least twice a week since I said I love his cooking. I love that. Something you don't like doing, but because I said I love it, you're going out of your way to.
Sexy as fuck.
That's delicious. He calls me severally during the day. Really, for me, that's a bare minimum.
Well, I don't want to be called necessarily like throughout, but he's checking in. That's
exactly. Takes me to the gynecologist, pays for my health. Yani, okay, she really went on and on and on. But he calls to say he loves me so much and we will fight the problems after an argument.
Okay, that's cute. I like that. That's reassurance.
He paid for my solo vacation. Cute. This one she put in capital letters. This one. He taught me a money-making skill.
Ooh. Okay, Han.
Yeah, okay. You win. You win. Yeah, despite the vaginal infections comment.
Despite that part. You win.
You win. I love.
What's a little chlamydia? Yeah, what's a little gonorrhea?
A little bit of
herpes. A little herp. What's a little herp?
In the grand scheme.
Of everything else.
No, I love a man who thinks about you in a holistic way. So like taking care of you physically, that's the sex, and the encouraging you to go to the gym. Financially, giving you money, paying for things, and teaching you a money-making skill. Emotionally, caring for you, mentally, stimulating you with conversations. Like, I mean, like you as a total woman, I feel like sometimes women are willing to trade certain aspects of relationships because you feel like you might not be able to find a man who satisfies them all. So for example, you're with a guy who maybe you don't find that attractive, but he stimulates you intellectually. Or you're with a man who is rich, but emotionally he's not really present, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if women were to rank, like how important are all these things, like financial compatibility, physical, mental, emotional, where those would fall. We know yours is emotional for sure.
Mine is emotional for sure. And I only learned that after my last relationship because I didn't know how much the the way I connect emotionally and my emotional world, just how, well, I didn't know that before I got into the relationship. I didn't know how intense that was for me. And I guess it's like the older I've gotten, the more that part of my world has become more and more important. And sometimes it's like you don't know that value is so important for you until you're kind of in there. And the fact that it's lacking is making you literally like physically kind of, you know, uncomfortable. So you learn as you go. But one of the things which I have a list of my non-negotiable as far as values, right? Because that's a place where I want to attract my next partner, is like, what are the values that I'm just not willing to go around, right? So that you know when you are compromising versus when you're settling. You know, compromise is like, this is not the end biggest, of my world. But a value...
A value is a no.
Your core values.
Yeah. I also feel like for you, the mental stimulation is a big part. And I feel like for me as well, like I feel like for me, even in terms of friends, in terms of relationships, I need to feel like I can have an intellectually stimulating conversation with you.
Yeah.
I remember a guy who I dated, and it was 2015. I even remember that was my whole year. And like one day we're just talking, and I literally just looked at him and my mind just went like, why are you so dumb?
Look, I think you always talk about this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, poor
but
guy.
The sex was great. He gave me my first orgasm.
An orgasm, but you're daft.
But you're
That's
daft.
okay.
That's the thing.
It's
because
okay.
it was just like it was a situationship. So it's like, I don't need you to be smart. But I realized, no, you need to, like, I need to be able to have a conversation with you about like something and be like, so that's your perspective. And you're able to defend it. Not just like we're talking about taxes and be like, man, I don't think guys should pay taxes.
Yeah.
Okay, why do you think that? Wasilipe too.
Okay, that's really daft,
girl,
right?
Yeah.
So me, what my bar I always feel like is open-mindedness. For me, there's plenty of people who I've met who are very intelligent, but they're not open-minded. And for me, that's a different form of stupidity, being closed-minded. It's a different form. It's coming from the back door. You can't really see it. You've read all the books, you have all the degrees, you come off, like you have information, you have memory retention as well. But that lack of open-mindedness, as soon as someone isn't open-minded or they say something like super close-minded, I'm just like...
Yeah. But sometimes there's just trauma, I guess.
That's a big part for me.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So I value open-mindedness more than necessarily intellect.
Yeah.
Because I like that you might bring something that, like, or I bring something up and you have a view that's like, not restricted. That's sexy as hell to me.
Yeah.
Open-mindedness.
Yeah.
Oof.
Or even being able to be like, I believe this is what I believe.
Yeah.
But being willing to hear your point of view, being willing to explore that perhaps there are other ways of thinking about this thing. Even if eventually you still be like, I still believe this is the right way, but you're willing to hear, you're willing to debate, you're willing to like have conversations about that particular thing.
Yeah. And everything outside like very obvious basics, it's more about this is my way, not necessarily the right way. The right way for who? Is the right way for you though?
Yeah.
There's a way I like,
we just
know. You know.
Okay, so he loves you when he claims you publicly as his lover.
No.
Yeah,
that's a nice thing. That's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
But Han, there's
in the world where people will be like, hey, when you've gone to meet his boys and they're like, we've never seen him like this before. This is the first time we've seen him smiling in 3 years. He was smiling yesterday with Janet at that same
I feel like in this age, that's not an indicator of love.
Yeah. It's not, but me, I feel like it's definitely a positive thing, especially. Yeah, it's definitely a positive
lacking,
thing.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
But it's not jumping up and
it doesn't
down.
have to be he's posted you or he's, just said, this is my lover. But it's like when we go somewhere, it's not just like, this is Lydia.
Yeah. Or even if you do post us, it's a normal thing. It's like there's a normal situation. You're not avoiding, you're not overdoing, because they're overdoers as well.
That's definitely a problem.
Yeah.
But I would rather the overdoers than the underdoers.
Definitely.
If that's a word.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong?
Yeah. Actually, I had two of my own. One of mine is that if he loves you if he treats what's important to you to be important. I'm obsessed with the show Girlfriends. For, I don't know, anyway, I keep I used to watch it as a teenager and now I just watch it over and over again. And Joan was a character. She was in many relationships before, right? But there's this guy who was like, he doesn't believe in Valentine's, right? And then, she pretended that she was. And then after she was like, no, it is important to me. And then after, when he kind of she put it out how important it was. He was just like, if it's important to you, then it's important to you. It's like, he's not willing to have a fight about it.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't matter to me, but it clearly really matters to you.
Yeah, and
holidays
so
are,
let's the
do
same way
it.
we always say who feels more passionate about it.
something. Yeah.
For me, unless there's like the reason why you don't like Valentine's is like your parents were murdered on that day, so it's like there's a reason.
Get it.
Yeah, but if it's just like, oh, me, just don't understand why. But me, I really like it. Me, I really love it.
That is actually a really, really big indicator.
The greenest flag ever.
That's the greenest flag.
Yeah.
If it's spotted to me, you respect
then you
it
respect
and
that. Yeah, I think I've said before on the podcast that when Zach and I met, he never used to do like big birthdays, holidays, gifts or things like that. This thing actually on Christmas, we're all buying pajamas and we are buying each other gifts. He's like, literally, that never ever happened. But now he loves it, I think, even more than we do. And he was just like, oh, okay, fine. So this is how, so he was open-minded to be able to accommodate that other people do things differently, and that way could even be more fun and you could enjoy it more. And I really love that.
Yeah, and I love because you are more into it. He's willing to just come and make it. So,
and you don't have to come. It doesn't have to be like in a fake way. Like now you go overboard, but like showing me that you care, that I care. That's really the most important. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that he loves you when my rock bottom didn't drive him away, but drew him closer and made him love me harder.
Let's switch that up.
Okay.
Let's switch that up. I knew she loved me when my rock bottom.
No. You're rock bottom. Please call me when you left the rock.
You see?
It's giving a bit.
Ooh, if it was the woman who was being asked to tolerate your rock bottom.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like it depends on what the rock bottom is, right?
Okay.
It also depends on how long are we spending at the rock bottom.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a tendency, first of all, for the other person to be kind of like a fixer. Like they're trying to be a fixer. You know, when your man is all the way down. I've been that girl.
Yeah.
Where he's all the way down. It's just like, I'm his rock. I'm the one who's helping him, pulling him out of the shadows, and I'll be with you through thick and thin or whatever. The only person I'm committed to going through thick and thin with is my husband and my kids. Anyone before that, it's just like, I mean, I don't know. It just feels a bit toxic. Also, people act differently when they're at rock bottom, so to speak.
Yeah.
There are people who are at rock bottom and you can see they're trying to get their shit together, or maybe they're not able to pour as much into the relationship as they were previously. There are also people who are at rock bottom and they start treating you badly because they are at rock bottom.
Yeah.
So now I'm at rock bottom and I'm broke. So I'm angry at you whenever you post anytime you've gone out. Because I'm like, how unfair is that? Like, how mean are you? You're just posting and you know that I'm going through a tough time financially. Now it becomes like you have to try and like dim yourself because I'm at rock bottom.
I get it. There's a lot of you are with me at my worst that sometimes gives, not necessarily that you love me, but I don't know if you love yourself that much. You know? But it can also mean to love you too, because one of the things about like genuine love that I feel is that someone being able to like to see you past this crappy version of you that you're showing now. I think that's actually, I'll say yes.
I'll say yes.
Yeah.
But when you reversed it, girl, it really fucked the whole equation up.
I was dumb for reversing it. I was dumb for it. It's because women have been in the suffering side for so long that it's like when you hear that, it's just like this is giving suffering. And let me tell you something as well, right? I don't know. I think we might have a different view in that. I feel like so many women suffer under my husband, right? So I'm also always reluctant to put it to be like I would ride or die for my husband. Because in fact, the most suffering that is happening as far as women are concerned is in marriages. Yeah. Because it's my husband, it's my marriage, it's my this, you know? So it's like, it's like she says her husband because of the quality of her husband, not necessarily like all that should be the blanket statement. You're right,
but I would feel like in a marriage, I would expect that somebody is more willing to be able to not to actually like take the struggle or being treated badly, but is more committed to trying to help this person through something.
Even the government makes you
literally
stay you and figure it out a bit longer than if it was just a relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah. He loves you if he's willing to address the things in him that are stopping him from loving you the way you want to be loved. And I'm going to give a little but to this. It's not that the way you want to be loved in every single way, this person is going to have to match it. And if they don't match it, they don't love you. No. But we're talking about things like certain habits that they have. Like, for example, I was watching the money show, I'll Make You Rich. Is it called How to Be Rich or How to Get Rich? Something like that. And one of the guys is like super about money, like really, really focused about money and all of this. And the girl is not so much like that. And then when they had the conversation, now the guy who was leading, I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting his name. She was saying how she feels like he's like a dream killer. Like anytime she has like an idea, you know, she seems like she's a dreamer. He's right there to bring her down back to earth, you know? And this is just something he does. But he was so willing to be like, this is just a way I am, this is how I'm raised. I'm very much about like finances, getting them together. But to imagine that this is something that's affecting her this way, I'm willing to work on. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Because sometimes it might be like, maybe he didn't even think about it like that. He was just thinking about like, okay,
so
I love that you have that idea, but like, you know, what are the modalities of it? How would it actually work in this context or whatever? I definitely feel like, it's a kind of like a 50-50. Yeah, a dance between wanting to give your partner how they want to be loved, but also who you just are as a person.
Yes.
If I can take you back to this avoidant anxious conversation, for example, Therapist Jeff, if you don't follow Therapist Jeff on Instagram, you should.
Come on.
Exactly. So he was saying about how avoidants are the way that they are because in the past they expressed their need at some point and it was met with rejection. It was met with, you know, just like your needs don't matter kind of thing. And so that's why they are the way that they are. So for me as the anxious who has a deep need for like, when we fight, I need you to affirm me. I need you to tell me I love you, and everything is okay even though we are fighting about this. But sometimes it's beyond, like you're always saying, sometimes it's just their capacity to do it. But there definitely still needs to be like, you need to be able to see some changes or like some steps
towards.
That's the thing. If I've already expressed that when you do this, it really, really hurts me or it really affects me. So even though next time, like now, when we literally had a fight about this earlier this week, and it went exactly the way anxious avoidance should. And I was telling him, so for me, because whenever we fight, I want to like, no, let's talk about it. Let's fix it. But for you, it's always like going away. Then what can make it easier for me is if you are not willing to have the conversation, I need you to tell me. So you still get, I still need you to go. You can still go away, but it's just like, I'm not in a position to talk about this right now. I would like some space. I would like some time to think about this. Can we talk about it tomorrow after work or something like that?
Compromise.
That's the thing. So it's like you get to do it and it's less hurtful to the other person, even though obviously I would rather talk about everything right now at 3 a.m. in the morning, you know?
No, I get it. Yeah, you need everything fixed because your attachment style is just like going through the roof when you and your man are separated. But I told you, I'm not like that. I sleep like a baby.
I don't think you're a serial killer. That's what you are.
I'm not. It's like because I'm working towards security. Because security says I am safe in my body and this is a momentary thing. You know, it's like the world isn't over. My daddy hasn't left again. You know, whatever the case may be.
I'm definitely working towards that. And I think I've gotten better. Like I've gotten like more. My sister says that I've gotten better because she used to see when me and Zach fight and I'm just like, I'm not even leaving my bed and I don't even want anything.
I can't
just
even imagine you like that.
Yeah. Oh.
I can't.
He's my rock.
I know you tell me things like, oh yeah, and then this happened, and then I just cried for an hour. So I'm just hearing it as words, but
but
to
not
see
like,
you, I don't even. I don't know what I would do.
But now I feel like I've gotten better. It's just kind of like trusting, like, okay, this is not the end. It's not a breakup every time you have a fight, kind of thing.
Remember,
but it's a journey.
Those who do not trust control. So when you're trying to control, you're not trusting something. And that's the way to check it.
But who are you trusting? What are you trusting?
No, trusting that you guys are going to be okay and this is just a moment.
Yeah, so that's tough. But I'm working on that.
It's okay. It's okay. We all are work in progress. Please.
Work in progress.
He loves you if he listens carefully and avoids repeating mistakes. Yeah, it depends on what the mistake is. But to be honest, I feel like that's a good one. It's like, I'm human, I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm working to consistently not, hurt you and do something.
Or like, or like reducing the number of times that the mistakes happen or whatever. The listening thing is a really important one for me. I feel like someone listening to you as you're speaking, as opposed to like, every time you've said something, sorry, what have you said?
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, my bar is a bit higher. I don't just want to be listened to.
I want you to
be heard
and engaged.
I want to be heard. Like there's a way I like to be responded to. That brings me so much safety.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a guy who I was seeing that made me see what life would be like to be with someone who's like secure, kind of.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tell us what it's like in that land.
Every time I just felt so at ease. There was nothing to think about. There's nothing to think about. I just go about life, and it's like, I know you're going to call, you tell me you miss me randomly in conversation. You just tell me, I just want you to know that,
just holds your hand.
Actually, he was literally like, he sat me down. This was before I left for Christmas, and he was like, I just want you to know that the more time I spend with you, the more I just feel so connected to you.
Stop making things up, Lydia, because that man can't exist.
I told you. I literally told you. And I was shocked. And guess what? He didn't need for me to respond. It was unprovoked. Yeah, that's it. He didn't need me to respond. And it's not me who brought it up. And that was it. I didn't respond. I was just like, oh, thank you. And that was it. He didn't care. He was just like, okay, so what do you want to drink? He wasn't doing it
so that to get something. Oh my God. Let me ask you, is it easier for an anxious attachment style person or attacher to become secure, or easier for an avoidant to become secure?
Anxious.
Oh yeah?
Anxious so much. Avoidance, even majority of the times, are not even attracted to secure. They're mostly lean towards that avoidant and anxious. Whereas even most anxious attachers don't find secure attachers attractive, because we're attracted to the opposite. It's like,
why? But first of all, I'm even just wondering what a relationship between an avoidant and an avoidant looks like.
I don't think they'll do it.
How? First of all, you have a fight, you're not even speaking to each other for 5 years now.
No, I don't think avoidant and avoidant.
Yeah. That would be crazy,
right?
You
know what makes me feel like it's like avoidant women?
Yeah. Oh, God. I don't know why my assumption is just like we are all anxious.
No. There are many avoidant women who are avoidant. And guys, we're obviously pressing on it because majority of our suffering has come through the dynamics with avoidance. But the truth is, anxious, we're just as bad.
Exactly. Also, we'll put a link in the description box where you can go and do the test and be able to determine, to be able to see whether you're anxious or avoidant. Sometimes I feel like you need to do more than one test because there are several tests for that same thing. Because sometimes it might give you, depending on what kind of questions you're being asked, it might give you different responses, but maybe you just do like 2 or 3 and it can give you, it's like 2-3 minutes literally.
And I think what you need to think of is what's your default. I always say that my default is anxious, so I can look at those tendencies to know. So even if you find secure, if you have some anxious tendencies, that might be your default.
I knew he loved me when he brought me a glass of water whenever he was getting one for himself.
I mean, that's thoughtful. But also, did I even ask for a glass of water?
Are you thirsty?
Am I thirsty right now?
But yeah, it's more about what it indicates.
It's thoughtful.
It's thoughtful.
It's like you're thinking of me.
Like when, let's say Zach is like at a coffee house and he's just like, oh, I'm a Java. Do you want anything?
Cute.
I feel like that's cute.
Thoughtful.
That's really
Very
nice.
Thoughtful.
So I guess so.
That's thoughtful.
But this one definitely needs to be coupled with many
other things. Because this, wow.
It needs to be many other things.
He loves you if he respects your space when you say you're not in the mood for sex. Me and Joe just had like a whole chat about this.
Yes.
Because I feel like I like feeling like I want to, if I don't want to have sex, it's okay to have sex. And I said that I realize is a lot of relationships where I've been in where sex is such a predominant way of connecting for a partner, whereas it's not like that for me. And majority of the time is that they're not able to show and express intimacy in other ways. So then it just puts sex on such a high pedestal for them. So that means it's like, if I feel like satisfied in other ways, or let's say there's no intimacy I'm getting elsewhere, so I feel even more withdrawn. So I don't want to have sex. Then that becomes like it's like, I know this is what you want, but it's like I'm feeling like something is disconnected.
Yeah. Now, for me, it's kind of like I think about it almost in the opposite way, because if I'm not, let's say we've been in a negative space and let's say I'm not feeling like intimate with you in other ways, I always imagine that then not having sex or saying no to sex is not going to make the situation better.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to make the situation. No, it's not going to make the situation worse. It's going to make the situation better. So it's like these things are lacking, but sex almost for me can be like a pathway to then be able to bridge that gap and help you now explore the other aspects of intimacy. So I always feel like it can't be like every single time it's like you want to have sex and I don't want to have sex.
We need to address that. That's
one
a
needs
problem
to be addressed.
that needs to be addressed. Yeah.
But I think for me the default is always to say yes, unless it's like physically I'm in a position not to, because I'm like, when I imagine there's times when I really want to talk, I really want to connect, and you don't want to, but I kind of just expect that even if you don't feel like you're going to meet me where I need to be met right now.
Yeah.
So if you want sex, then I will more often than not just be able to give it to you in that circumstance.
Yeah.
But it can't be an all the time.
It can't be an all the time thing.
That can't be the permanent situation.
Also, I feel like that your view is really based on how you experience sex, right? If sex is something you love so much anyway, so it's like more often or not you're going to love it.
Why not just have fun? Even if you're
whereas
why not
for
just
me,
have fun? Yeah.
I feel like I'm betraying myself when I'm 100% not into having sex and I do it.
You don't feel like that's now putting sex on a higher pedestal than even he is putting it on?
No, it's because it's so intimate and it's so invasive on my body, on my emotions, on everything to be doing it when I really don't want to do it, right? And actually for me, I find it really attractive if I can say no to sex, even if you're just like, oh, that's okay, baby, kiss, good night. I'm fucking you right there. I'm fucking you right there. You can have it.
So she wants to be chased.
So no, the issue is like the freedom to say no probably puts you at an ease to say yes. It's the fact that I know if I say no, this is an issue. Ugh. Bondage.
For me, sex, maybe it's because I'm married, but for me, sex is literally, it's like a handshake. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think about that deeply. It's just like a handshake. Like, we wake up in the morning and say hi to each other. That's the same way sex is.
No
it's
way.
just like, oh, hey.
Actually,
kind of thing.
I think that's the difference.
That's
I think
the difference, yeah.
Sex
it's like
is
just deep connection, whatever, which sometimes I feel like it is. Other times it's just like, we're just, here.
No, you're inside of me and I don't want you here.
But you are me and I am you.
Why are you me and I'm you?
Because we're married and we are one
But
flesh.
you were a dickhead a minute ago, so...
Yeah, so now let's fuck and then we talk about how you are.
Yeah, I love when somebody can just be okay with me, because the more I feel like everything doesn't have to, even making out doesn't always have to lead to sex. The more I feel like it's not this thing that has to happen, the more I'm at ease to have it.
Making out doesn't have to lead to sex.
I had more sex with people who are not so obsessed with having sex with me, because they just feel like it's a thing, like it's relaxed. It's not... Oh God, bondage, guys.
All you men out there, stop stressing Lydia. She said no, she doesn't want. Miss here, we don't want.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. Here's another one. I know he loves signs that he loves you. What was the title?
If they put it as signs he loves you. That's why when you're reading it sounds off, but really it should be he loves you if.
Oh right, okay, fine. He loves you if anything I want, I get. We are planning our wedding, and I'm the happiest babe. Truly.
That's like Tim's little title.
Yeah.
What my baby wants, my baby gets. Tim, my stepdad, to my mom.
I love that.
What my baby wants, my baby gets. Okay.
That's really cute.
So cute.
I feel like if a man does what he can within his financial
for sure
limit to be able to give you, to be to make you happy, I feel like that's really great, because you'll find men who they have a lot of money but they're not willing to spend on you. Every time you ask for something, it's just like you have to justify and do a 5-page PowerPoint presentation as to why you should get 300 bob for I don't know, whatever.
And wanting to take care of me, so
that's the
sexy.
thing. I find that so sexy.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful. But again, it's not that people who are the opposite don't love you. It's just like
that's a thing. That's a nice addition.
Financial trauma is a thing also, by the way. Maybe someone who grew up poor and now they have money and now they just imagine that all their money is going to disappear one day, so they never spend any of it.
I dated someone like that.
Horrible. That's
right.
Hell. That one is hell now, for real.
Right? And it's not to say they were so obsessed with not spending money. They would. But there was something I started considering. For example, I'm going to shop. I want to get Heinz mayo. I want to get
the nice things.
And it's just like, this
ketchup
is what you're going
and
to
not
get.
Tomato sauce.
This is what you're going to go and get. But I realized, like, when we were shopping together, it would be just such a thing that I realized when I started shopping on my own, I'm thinking about that. Whereas it's just like, so what's the option?
No, there are some small
I could see
things
that
I can't debate about.
It was affecting me.
Yeah.
but I could see was like generally from something really traumatic. Like he had reason to be acting that way. But I literally realized they like, whoa, this is tough. I don't want that kind of energy.
Yeah. But again, you see, some of those things are really just like like generational trauma growing up. Which, by the way, watch the next episode because this is some of the things we are going to be talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, some people, you just be like, me, if I go to the supermarket and it's like, I want Kellogg's cornflakes versus there's this other cornflakes. Let's say, what's the other brand called? That's the local one. I think Procter & Allen. Like, you can't even compare them. Of course, there's a price difference, but I want the nice cornflakes. Like, where am I buying the cornflakes? I'm not even going to enjoy the cornflakes that I have. For sure, I want the nice one. And I wouldn't even think twice about it. But some people do. It's just like, it's wastage. Do we really need it? You know, and it comes from a place of frugality and also like, oh, we just want to save money.
Yeah, I think that's smart. Actually, the other day, I changed my oat milk. So I wanted Alpro, but it was like, it just wasn't available because I was doing online. So I checked Ziwa. Right? And I checked the ingredients. First of all, Ziwa actually has more oats. So those kind of common sense thinking, Ziwa is cheaper and it has more oats, right? And less stuff in it. It's like you can change it based on that. But this idea that it's like always a cheaper option, no.
Yeah. Me, my problem is that I always want the more expensive option because I just assume that it's better, which is not necessarily true.
Yeah, I'm willing to go with something that isn't necessarily like the top brand as long as it's better. I'm going for better. Yeah, that's what I'm not willing to.
But Ziwa should change their bottle because I just feel like it's not giving premium. I don't know.
Not.
That's the thing.
I know.
That's why you never even think to pick it.
I think the what's it? The name.
That's the
But that's our mental mental
But
bondage.
when I see the blue, I don't know. It's just not. It's just. What?
But I think it's supposed to be an alternative to the super expensive ones.
Yeah, but okay.
He loves you if he satisfies.
Give me a high five. Oh, there you go, sweetie.
He loves you if he satisfies your love languages. For sure, that's the way I feel loved.
That one. Actually, I feel like that's
it. That's
sweetie,
how you know.
That's the one.
He loves you. He satisfies your love languages.
Yeah. Or makes a noble attempt to do so. Yeah. Like once you've told him, you know, physical touch is my love language. Now we are crossing the street and there he is. You know, we are at dinner and his arm is around you. Yeah.
Acts of service, words of affirmation. Those are two.
Yeah.
Have I ever met a man who did both easily? No.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
I have.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I guess quality time, words of affirmation. But I also feel like there are some which are, it's easier to bridge the gap. So like with quality time, if I tell you like my love language is quality time more often than not, if you're in a relationship, you're spending quality time together.
No, but but you're on the phone all the time. Not paying attention.
You're right, yeah. But like something like words of affirmation, if it's not something you've ever been used to, it will definitely take some time for him to reach the level where like Lydia's man is there saying, you know, the more time we spend together. God, I can't even believe that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, crazy. Like just in the middle of the day, sends you a message. I just want to let you know that you are so beautiful and you're capable, and I know you will kill that shoot today.
Yeah, and calling you with confidence. Hi, I miss you, babe. Done. Just that's. Wow. I really enjoyed there, guys. 2-3 months.
That's it. Those were good too.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good era.
But yeah, anyway.
Damn.
But as we're saying, these are isolated because there are other things as well that you've got to consider.
Exactly. The mushene, signs that he loves you. The mushene between us is unmatched.
I feel like that's a bare minimum in a relationship. What are you doing then?
Yeah.
Gossip must be.
It must be the connecting factor. A central part.
Yeah. But those are people who talk.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just like, yeah, what are we doing?
Or even when you give me the tea, it's like, can you bring me with like some
and
whatever?
Where are the details? What was she wearing? At what pace did she walk in? Were there other people around? Like
me oh yeah, 2 weeks ago I went to I saw
2 weeks.
You've been living a lie. I have a stranger in my home. You've been keeping this for 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you know, I noticed Zach is like that. So I changed. He's that kind of person. It's like things will happen, and it's like he says that mentally he thought like I'll tell you. Yeah. So this is what I recommend is like when at the end of the day you need to ask leading questions. Yeah. You know, like. Is there an interaction you had today that really stood up out to you, you know, kind of things? Yeah. Was there anything at work today that irritated you? You know, is there a conversation you had? Like very leading questions so that it prompts.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, not just like, how was your day? Mom, that was
great
good.
tip.
Yeah.
Hashtag marriage works. That was a great
Need Jesus.
Need Jesus.
Yeah.
For real, that is a great
It's
tip.
really nice. Even with your kids as well. It's just like, who did you play with today that made you happy?
Can I give you a compliment? That's something you've influenced me unintentionally.
Yeah.
Right? You ask very specific details.
Yeah.
Like actually something which I picked up because she asked one of our friends this. It's like if somebody is going to do something, you ask them, what would make life good right now?
Or better for you right now.
That's something you ask very specific details.
You, yeah.
Because you're not really I wouldn't say you're like such an affirmer per se.
Yeah, not
so
really.
I think you draw out
That's
someone.
the thing, yeah. I like
very
that.
Good. Great wife.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
babe. Well done.
Thank you. I'm doing what I can.
She's doing what I can.
Yeah.
Great.
Any last one to share?
Oh, he loves you if he gives you random foot massages and grabs your ass.
No, grabbing an ass is a must. In fact, if you pass in
even like a little, even you didn't.
Just a touch, me, I'll just look back. I remember Shiv and Shiki did a reel like that. It's like when he walks past and he doesn't grab your ass, it's just kind of like...
Yeah. But I feel like, to be honest, it's not every single time. But if there's like a consistent pattern that it's like you literally walk past me like you're walking past a fridge.
Yeah.
We need to chat.
Or like when I've
even
come from the shower.
I've come
like
from a shower.
Yeah.
Allah.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Am I a spoon to you?
Am I a spoon to you or a fork?
No, yeah. There needs to be some, especially, I guess maybe if physical touch is your love language. Yeah. So even just gentle brushes every now and then, or like when you're talking, like me, I really like when you're saying something to me, just like, oh, babe, did you get the...
I love it. It's like, it's not, physical touch is not saying my love language, but I love that intimacy, those warm little touches. Oh, God.
Or like you come to the sitting room and I'm sat here and you just like sit next to me and then you put like your foot close to mine.
Yeah. Or you come and cuddle up.
Guys, love that.
Get me a man right now.
I love it.
This second, right now.
Anyway, guys, as we mentioned, just because your man has exhibited one or two or perhaps three of these signs that he loves you, does not necessarily mean that he loves you.
Check Please look at the If He Hates You episode for reference.
Because there might be 10 there. And 2 here. Just balance for the sake of your mental health. That's what I would recommend. It needs to be majority. He does things that show you that he loves you. He treats you really nicely. And maybe the things that of like signs that he hates you, maybe they're like 1 or 2 and not in a treating you badly, like slapping you across the head.
And not the ones we all said, because everyone was screaming about the fact that I said that he doesn't go down. If your man doesn't go down, you just say. But either way, it's like, use your discernment, honey.
Use your discernment. But anyway, since we have done those 2 episodes, we would love to hear from you guys in the comments. So based on this, do you think your man likes you? Do you think your man loves you? Do you think your man loves you?
Do you like your man? Because I mean, it turned into a confessional.
Exactly.
Do you love your man?
Tell us.
Do you hate your man?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Actually
tell us,
true,
50% hate, 10%. What's the percentage?
Exactly. There was someone in the comments of the last episode who said something like, or the last episode who said, it's possible for you to love someone and really not like them, or for them to love you and just really not like you.
Yeah, but I need to be liked. Yeah. That's what I was saying. Liking yourself is on a higher bar than loving yourself.
Exactly.
Because love is like, I love so many of my family members, but God,
you don't like them. Yeah. Which now begs the question, how then do you fall in love with someone that you don't like? Because for family members, it's because we were born into the same family. Yeah. But like for another person, it's like, I feel like people don't take time to figure out, do I actually like you? Before now, it's just like, oh, I'm in love. I love you.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel number one is like people are not impressed by how other people are treating them. They're impressed by who the person are. Oh, wow, he sounds so smart. Or that has nothing to do with you. What's impressing you about that, right? We are not really thinking about how is this person adding value, etc. Number 2, sometimes we don't know ourselves. As I said, I wasn't that aware about how some of my values fall and how important they were to me. So when there was a disconnection in values, it's like, it's so problematic, but it's like, I didn't see this. I didn't see this because there was a part of me I also hadn't really truly understood. And you're gonna go through that in relationships. It happens. But then now you're married. That's the thing.
And now you have 7 kids. That's so the
now
issue.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like sometimes it's difficult to figure out what you like, but it's easier to figure out what you don't like. So when your man has done this thing and you're just like, I don't like that. Already knowing the things you don't like is a good indicator of the things things that you do like.
It's
Because
true.
sometimes it's just like you've never experienced something, so you don't know that you like it.
Yeah.
But when you experience something you don't like, for sure you'll be like, I know I don't like being slapped by my man.
I know that. I
For
know
sure,
violence
fact.
is not like a vibe for me.
It's just not.
Yeah, I feel like there's also things that come with age, for sure. Like you're going to learn more about yourself. You're going to understand things. There's so many things I've learned. But in that my intentional single season, which is why sometimes I feel like it's important, but I'm not projecting that you have to do it. But it's like you think about things in a different way. You are intentional about your patterns, what happened, like what do you want to do different, like you know, and learning as well where you're falling short, so that when you're aligning with someone, it's like we don't surprise ourselves every time.
Not every
time we're shocked
exactly
that we're here, you know.
And let's set the bar higher, guys.
Yeah.
Let's definitely set the bar
Have
high.
you guys been seeing Melissa wardrobe on going to her honeymoon?
Shut up. First of all, has she ever uploaded a bad Instagram picture? Because like,
Never.
wow.
That's the bar.
I'm in pajamas because I'm getting on my PJ. Private jet.
Jay, the bar is high. The bar is high.
It's very high. Actually, just go and check Melissa's wardrobe. Yeah.
Just go.
Before you come and tell us you know your man loves you because he brought you water. But anyway, no shade. We love you guys. Please don't leave here without subscribing, guys. We hope that you've enjoyed the conversation and we're looking forward to hearing from you. Also follow our Instagram so that you can be part of these kinds of conversations.
Yeah.
Because we like hearing from you guys. And I think you guys also enjoy the episodes where we are sharing multiple people's views as opposed to only just mine and Lydia's.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely follow us. TMI Podcast KE, Morugi Muni.
And Lydia KM.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.